Hello everyone, welcome you all to the next session on Relations and Functions of Class 12 Mathematics. In this session, we'll solve the remaining problems from exercise 1.3. Here is the 11th problem. Consider f from the set containing elements 1, 2, 3 to the set containing elements a, b, c given by f of 1 equal to a, f of 2 equal to b and f of 3 equal to c. Find f inverse and show that inverse of f inverse is f. Now, as usual, let's start writing what are given to us. We are given a function f which are mapped from the elements from the set containing elements 1, 2, 3 to the set containing elements a, b, c, and the function is defined in such a way that f of 1 takes a value a, f of 2 takes a value b, whereas f of 3 takes a value c. Now, we have to find f inverse. To find f inverse, we have to find a function which is going to be the inverse of f. For which, let us define a function g, which should be from the set containing elements a, b, c to the set containing elements 1, 2, 3. So let's define a function, such a function by the elements are mapped in such a way that g of a equal to 1, g of b equal to 2 and g of c equal to 3. That is, since f of 1 is equal to a, we'll take it in such a way that f of 1 and g of a will be the inverse. We'll assume it in such a way that the elements are inverses of each other, so that we'll prove g is the inverse of f. Now you can see f of 2 is b, similarly g of b gives you 2, and f of 3 is c and g of c gives you 3. Now this is the function that we have defined. Now we have to prove that this g is the inverse of f. Now, to prove a function g is an inverse of f, the thing that we will be normally proving is f composite g and g composite f are both identity functions. So, let us try to find the composition of these two functions for all the values. Let's start with f composite g of a. This f composite g of a is nothing but f of g of a. This is by the definition of composition of function. So, this composition is replaced by the bracket. So, f composite g of a is equal to f of g of a, that is equal to f of 1, because we know g of a is equal to 1. So, f of 1, which is nothing but 1. So, f of 1 is equal to a. So, we have here. So, this means that f composite g of a equal to a. So, we see that f composite g of a equal to a. So, this tells you that f composite g is an identity function. Similarly, we'll try to find it for all other values. Since we have only 3 elements for this set, we are going to find it for all the sets. Find it for all the elements in the set. So let us find it for f composite g of b. You can see that f of g of b, which is again equal to f of 2, that gives you b. And f composite g of c gives you c. So we see that f composite g of a is a, f composite g of b is b, and then f composite g of c is equal to c. So there were 3 elements from the function g, from this a, b, c to the set containing elements 1, 2, 3. So we have checked for all the 3 elements in this set, that is the domain of g. Since we have checked for all this, we come to conclude that f composite g is nothing but the identity function. That is, f composite g is equal to iy. Y is nothing but your function. Here the set is nothing but set containing the elements a, b, c. Now, let us try to find the composition of f, g and f. Actually, we found it as f composite g. Now, let us find it for g composite f. That is g composite f for all the 3 elements. And the domain of f is nothing but 1, 2, 3. So, let us find the composition of g and f for the elements 1, 2, 3. So, here is the first one, g composite f of 1. G composite f of 1 is same as g of f of 1, which is equal to g of a, and that is equal to 1. So, we see that g composite f of 1 is equal to 1. Similarly, g composite f of 2 equal to 2, g composite f of 3 equal to 3. So, we see that the composition of g and f for all the 3 values is going to be same. Hence, we can conclude that g composite f is equal to the identity function, that is identity x. X is nothing but the domain of f. So we see that f composite g is an identity function and g composite f is an identity function. So this tells us that f and g are inverses of each other. That is, g is the inverse of f, or I can write it as f inverse is equal to g. Now we are done with the first part of the question, that is, find f inverse. So f inverse is nothing but a function from the set containing elements a, b, c to the set containing elements 1, 2, 3. So this is done. Now the next step is we need to find the inverse of this f inverse. That means we have to find the inverse of the function g. So let us define, instead of g, let us put it in the form of f inverse. That is, f inverse is the set which is f inverse is the function from the set containing elements a, b, c to the set containing elements 1, 2, 3. You can see this is what we have defined for our g. So g is the one that is defined from a, b, c to 1, 2, 3. Now this is what we are going to have it. Since g and f inverse both are same, now f inverse is also from the set containing elements a, b, c to the set containing elements 1, 2, 3. Now how are we going to define it? This is same as our g. We have defined g of a is 1. So our f inverse of a should also be 1. And then g of b is 2. Similarly, f inverse of b is also 2. And then we have the last value, that is g of c is 3. Then we have here f inverse of c is 3. So now we have a function f inverse which is defined from the set containing elements a, b, c to the set containing elements 1, 2, 3 with the definitions f inverse of a, f inverse of b and f inverse of c. Now we have to find an inverse for this f inverse. So we'll assume a function called h. As we did for g, as we did g for h, we are going to assume h in the place of inverse of f inverse. So let us assume that h, which is nothing but a set containing, function from the set containing elements 1, 2, 3 to the set containing elements a, b, c. You can see it is nothing but your f. This is what our f is defined as. So we'll try to get a function, define a function from the same set like 1, 2, 3 to the same set a, b, c, and we'll try to prove this is the inverse of f. Now let us define a function h from the set containing 1, 2, 3 to the set containing a, b, c, and we'll define the same way, that is h of 1, that is h of 1, input of 1 under h is going to be the output a. So h of 1 is a, h of 2 is b, h of 3 is c. Now we have defined a function h in this way, and we'll try to prove this h and g are inverses to each other, for which we need to find the composition of these two functions. So here are the compositions. The first compositions are from h and g, that is h composite g of a, h composite g of b, and h composite g of c. And you can see that h composite g of a gives you a by the definition, like h composite g of a is h of g of a, which is nothing but h of 1, that is equal to your a. Similarly, you can prove the other things. So that gives you h composite g is nothing but your identity function, that is I, y. This is nothing but your domain of your g. Now let's find out the compositions like g composite h for all the elements. So g composite h of 1, g composite h of 2, g composite h of 3. We can see the elements 1, 2, 3. That is g composite h is nothing but the identity function which is ix. So we see from these two that h composite g is an identity function and g composite h is also an identity function. So this tells us that the function g is invertible and h is the inverse of g. So we have got h is the inverse of g, that means g inverse is our h. This is what we represented. This is how we represent it. Now g, what is our g? G is nothing but our f inverse. So this is what we have proved here. F inverse is our g. So let us replace here. Let us replace g by f inverse. So that gives you inverse of f inverse is equal to h. This means that inverse of f is the h, the function h that we have got it so far. But what is our h? When we look back for the function h, it is nothing but the same function which is defined as our f. You can check it out. H and f are same functions like from the same set containing elements 1 to 3 to the same set containing elements a, b, c. The definition is also same. F of 1 is a, f of 2 is b, f of 3 is c. Similarly, you can check h of 1 is a, h of 2 is b, and h of 3 is also c. So this means that h and f both are same. So we have h same as f. So this means that our f inverse whole inverse or inverse of f inverse is nothing but f itself. Are we done with the second part? Yes, we are done with the second part of the question also. So that's all. We are done with the entire process of finding f inverse and the inverse of f inverse. I hope you are able to understand the process. Not that difficult. We just have to assume the inverses by a different letter G and H. We'll assume it and we'll prove those are also invertible using the composition of functions, and then we derive this given relation, that is inverse of f inverse is f. Now let's move on to the next problem. There is 12th problem. Let f from x to y be an invertible function. Show that inverse of f inverse is f, that is f inverse whole inverse is equal to f. Now it is almost same as the previous one, that but there is only one there is a mass difference here. In the previous problem we were given a function with some definition and we were trying to prove like f inverse of whole inverse is f. But here the very important thing to be noted down here is we are given f is an invertible function. So it means that you have an inverse for this f. So let's move on to the proof of it. We have the function f from x to y is an invertible function. So this means that you have a function, say g. Let us call that function by the letter g. There is a function g from y to x such that g composite f is equal to identity function and f composite g is also equal to identity function. This is because of the definition or because of the information given in the question that f is an invertible function. So this tells us that we have an inverse and that inverse is nothing but your g. So I can represent that by f inverse equal to g. So we have got the inverse of the given function and we have represented that by g. Now when I say g is the inverse of f, it means that g composite f is ix. But we have represented this g by f inverse. So I can replace this g wherever I have g. I can replace that by f inverse. So g composite f is nothing but f inverse composite f, and that is equal to ix. Similarly, f composite g. Again we have g here. Let us replace this g by f inverse. So f composite g is equal to iy, and that implies f composite f inverse is equal to iy. Now from these two relations, that is f inverse composite f is equal to ix and f composite f inverse equal to iy, we understand that f is the inverse of f inverse. That is, if you try to find the inverse of f inverse, that is nothing but your f. So this is what we mean. We can even conclude that f inverse is invertible and hence the given function f is the inverse of f inverse. That is f inverse, the whole inverse is equal to f. Both the problems are almost of same type, but the second problem, that is the 12th problem that we discussed, has a function as an invertible function. Since the function is given as an invertible function, our process is very less scale. It is not as lengthy as the previous one. So just understand what are all given in the question, and based on the question, understand what to be found. If it is invertible, the process is very easy. If it is not, you have to prove it as invertible and then you have to find the inverse or whatever that is asked in the question. So I hope with this you will be having a better idea about the composition of functions and invertible functions. So keep practicing your remaining examples so that we will be able to proceed with the next section of this chapter. So practice the remaining problems, and here are the homework problems for you for this day. So here are the homework problems. So finish it off so that when we start the next section, it will be easy for you to have a better understanding and be easy for us to proceed further. Thank you.